Good day, fellow friends out there in the world. Today is day 20, one more day, and it'll be 7 days for the next week to weigh in. On day 22, I'll give my weigh-in, and yeah, if you're new to my channel, I go for a walk each day to exercise through my weight loss journey, and I share inspirational words of wisdom from my path to help uplift another. So yeah, if you want to come join me for a walk today, you're more than welcome. And what I'm going to touch on today lasted 69 hours of my fast, and why I stopped it. I wasn't even planning on, I was only planning to go the next day, fasting the next day, because I had nachos the night before, and it ended up lasting 69 hours of fast. So I'm going to touch on that, and then I'm going to also share a story today that I discussed with my mom again, yesterday I believe it was, and it was about being poisoned. A roommate trying to poison me, and how I dealt with that, and how the light took over and he basically told on himself. So I'm going to share on that today. And yeah, so again, anyone new, I was 400 pounds once before in my early 20s, became a bodybuilder for 18 years, being lean at 280, at 6'6". Had an NDE 9 years ago, and 3.5 years ago I got diagnosed with severe lung disease and only had 30% muscle use for my lungs to breathe. So I am pushing through it each day, and I hope that whatever you're going through in your life, whatever challenges for your life, that you push through it and you overcome it, even if the world tells you it can't be done. It's all on us to push past our limits of where the world is out of understanding. So I 69 hours. Really wanted to hit 72 hours, but realistically, it was 8:30 last night. I talked to my mom and another friend, Eddie. Thank you for allowing me to share. And I was going to really push through and do 5 days, but 8 o'clock last night, I just felt like I don't know, it's weird. I didn't need to eat. I didn't feel hungry, but there was a part of me that was like, if I go to sleep tonight, I can't eat. I'm on a 20-hour fast now, daily with keto. So I typically eat at 4 o'clock. And I thought, if I don't eat at 8:30 last night and have a keto meal for myself, then good day. Then it's going to be tough today, I thought. But I don't know if it was creating stories within my mind. But then to go all day and not eat until 4 today, I just felt like there was something there. So I ended up breaking my fast at 69 hours last night. So it's going to be interesting to see my weight this week, and going for 2 laps a day. And even yesterday when I recorded, I only did 1 lap, but I was like, man, I didn't sweat enough. And then I had enough energy yesterday evening, and I pushed myself, and I went around and I did another lap last night. So I still got my 2 laps in, which I'm pretty happy about for myself, to still push myself even through being really fatigued in this body. So now I'm fasting 20 hours. 20 hours is easy peasy. I've built up to it over a couple of years. Where now, typically it was 18 hours. Now I'm going to do 20. And eat for the 4 hours. I have a meal first, and then have 4, and then I'll have another one about 7:45ish. and then I'm good for the day. So really looking forward to what the scale is going to show for week number 3 for me on how much I've lost. And I am getting what happens when you go into ketosis, where you're using your body fat to burn off your body fat. You go into what they call ketosis, using your body fat for energy. Now, this is not directed to anyone, because there are my friends or family, going that long without eating. There's a belief that I'm starving myself. And I'm just bringing light to it, because more people out there believe you're starving yourself. And I would have thought that too before I grew into understanding more than I knew before, with where humanity's at, and understanding how your body is truly going through a healing space when we're fasting. And there's supplements you got to take, but I would just encourage anyone, if you want to know more about the truth of fasting, research it for yourself and Google and see what happens when you fast for 16 hours, what happens in your body. Science, we're in a space where science has the understandings now. So then see at 20 hours, 24 hours, what's happening through the stages of water fasting with your body, and how it's beneficial to do that for yourself once in a while, as it resets your body. And there's a lot of benefits, but it's not something that, at least right now, with my understanding, that's sustainable, to be doing forever. But you do them in little bite-sized chunks. So that is that I wanted to share for those who have that belief structure. And again, I had it as well before, and then I grew through understanding more by the research and all the people that have done it, and understanding what it's doing to benefit you and healing your body. So I forgot my inhaler before I went for a walk today, so my breathing is a little harder to breathe, but that's okay. I'm pushing through it. So to get to my story now of being poisoned, or trying to be, by my old roommate. It was, I think, 2012, 2011 maybe. I went into a 6-month treatment program, and I was highly addicted to all the hard drugs through what I was going through at that time of my life of suffering. And I completed that 6-month treatment, and I went into sober living. So sober living, it was a home, had 2 elderly men downstairs that were there for years. And I was upstairs with 2 bedrooms, and then usually it would be younger guys that were upstairs. So I shared my space with the 3 guys upstairs, and people come and go. A lot of times relapsing happens, right? It's a big part of recovery, is the relapsing. But nonetheless, you gotta take accountability, and you gotta move out if a person does that. So this gentleman moved in, another young guy, and I guess he had schizophrenia, I believe, thinking back, and believing that there were cameras all in the house. Now, typically you'd see this behavior from someone who's using hard drugs, but he was not, and because we were around him all the time, and we could tell, drug addict to drug addict, we can tell. So anyways, I felt really uncomfortable with him at the house, and I was telling the other guys I'm feeling uncomfortable with him at the house. So the gentleman downstairs, older man, he liked to go into garbage and collect things and bring them home. So he infested the house with bed bugs. So we had bed bugs, and we're constantly using some kind of spray, and I'd spray around my bedposts, and it was horrible. If anyone has ever lived with bed bugs before, it is brutal for the experience and what I went through dealing with that all on its own. Even an inkling of a little hair moving on your legs, and oh, good day. Yeah. It's just a hair moving on your legs, and you think it's a bed bug, and you flick on the light. It was absolutely horrible. So we'd be using that, and one morning I went out. I had my own jug of water, and I poured the water in my glass, and of course I lifted up the glass and I went to take a drink with it, and I noticed that it was a rainbow swirly oily color, and I'm like, and then I took a sniff, and then I'm like, what the, and then I was like, it smells like the bed bug solution to kill the bed bugs. And then, oh, it's getting cold here. It's -9 today, but it's windy. So anyways, I told my other roommate, because he was gone to work, and he's like, no man, I don't think he would put that in your water. I went down and told the roommates. They started, and then I called the house manager, and he said, yeah, he heard from the older gentleman, and they believed I did it, and I'm trying to blame him. So I was furious, because I wasn't lying, I was telling the truth. And so I went about my day, what I had to do. I caught the transit then, and caught the bus, and it was in the evening now, and I'm on my way home. And I remember being on the bus, even in this moment, closing my eyes. I'm on the bus, I'm looking out the window, and I'm like, God, can you please take care of this for me? Like, I had a connection with God kind of before, but not really. And it's in the times where we don't know what to do, or a life is threatened, that at that point we reach out. And that was my moment. And I said, can you please take this from me and deal with it for me? And then I just kept driving, going on the bus. And I got home, and my buddy upstairs, my roommate, the other guy, he was like, Jeff, oh my God, you're not gonna believe this. I said, what? He said, when our other roommate came home, he said, as soon as he came into the house, and he said to him, he said, hey, I wonder what would happen if someone digested bed bug chemicals. And then my roommate buddy upstairs was like, oh my God, you did do it. And still the house guy didn't want to do anything, so I called the police. I'm like, if they're not going to do nothing, I'm going to call the police. He told on himself, and he's like, what? I don't know what you're talking about, playing dumb. But those that do things wrong, they like to talk about it, but they do it in code without actually sharing it, But that's a time in my life where I gave it all up to the light of God in that moment of what that was for me. So I thought that was a pretty cool story to share today. Thank you again for those supporting me through this journey. So much love to you. Send many blessings to you on your journey for rising you up to that best version of yourself that you wish to see. And so lots of love, and I hope everyone has an amazing day.